Welcome to worsttutorials.com. You're hanging out with Bradford and Brian, and today we have a delicious array of
a smorgasbord
of reverb on the table. So what we're going to do today in this video, we have the brand new, as of now, just released Line 6 HX effects. Line 6 put out 5 brand new reverbs. They're called Glitz, Ganymede, Searchlights, Plateau, and Double Tank. And Brad and I are going to compare them to our favorite reverb pedals. So Brad's favorite reverb pedal ever is
the BigSky.
The Strymon BigSky.
There's other pedals I really like.
There are, yes.
For
you
verb,
keep coming back to
but
it,
I keep coming back to this, and that's another story for another day.
I'm a simple man, I guess.
In this regard, maybe.
In this regard, because my all-time favorite reverb pedal is the Boss RV. I have an RV-6, but it's the RV-5 modulate setting. The RV-6 modulate setting is more or less the same. It might be a little different, but
there's definitely more body to it.
For the purpose of this video, it's the RV-5 RV-6 modulate setting. I just love it as far as an ambient reverb goes. Yeah. Let's hear the bass tone just to see what it sounds like. Sounds really good, really punchy and full, but you know, nice articulation. That the guitar is actually, so our signal chain goes like this. Guitar is going into HX effects, and then it's going through these effects. There's a we didn't mention this. There's a deluxe compressor in this patch that's just always on. It's a compressor. We're going from the HX effects to the Strymon BigSky to RV-6, RV-6 to the Kemper direct out to a Universal Audio Apollo 8 into Logic. All right, so first things first, let's hear Glitz from Line 6.
Clean tone first, though.
That sounds big. Okay, so let's zoom in and show you kind of how we have this one set up. So the decay is set at 8, a little bit of pre-delay, not much high cut, pretty high mix, so we're mixed past 50% just to make it sound big, and the levels turned up to compensate for that. And then there's a little bit of modulation, but not a ton. And the modulation, actually no, there is a lot of modulation. It's set at 6.5. So we thought Glitz sounds a lot like, you can make it sound like the Cloud and the Bloom setting from the BigSky. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn these. We've got a, what do we have? A Cloud or a Bloom? So we have a Bloom preset dialed in on the BigSky, and I'm just gonna switch them on and off for you as Brad plays. So.
So not identical,
but pretty
dang close.
Okay, so let's try. What's the Cloud one that let's try dialing in a Cloud setting.
And here's the thing, because I was thinking the same thing as I was just playing. I was like, man, I should stop playing so much so they can hear the nuances between the two verbs. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that's exactly the point.
The point that's exactly the point. They're so close.
Like, yeah, solo guitar, electric guitar, by yourself, you're playing one note at a time.
And that was the BigSky.
Yeah, and like, sure, you're gonna
do that same thing. No. You can hear a difference.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is like the same setting on the HX, and all we did was just switch 2 on the...
Yeah.
So we could tweak it some, but... I mean, that's the point. Is like
it's pretty
pretty
close.
Dang good.
Yeah, pretty close. So, and we have these 8. We have all these reverbs set like pretty wetter than we would probably use them.
Yeah.
Like in a mix in a full band context, but that way you can really hear them. Okay, so the next Helix reverb is Ganymede. So if you look at our settings here, you can say our decay is up pretty high. A little bit of a pre-delay so that the initial attack will come through.
It gives it like a bloom kind of sound feel too.
Yeah.
That's his preference, I guess.
Like the tone knob would be turned back a little bit of mod, 7 out of 10. And the mix is pretty high. And this is the one that we think sounds a lot like the RV-5, RV-6. So... So at the end, the battery door popped open. So at the end, I actually switched as Brad's note was trailing, switched between the 2 of them, and it was like
sounded
the same sound almost.
I mean, for all the times that you want to step on 2 reverbs at the same time and start one and start in another.
Yeah, when would you do that? But this Ganymede just nails the RV-5 modulate, RV-6 modulate sound, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing for me because this is my all-time favorite reverb. Searchlights. Searchlights is a pretty interesting one. You can see it has a lot of control. So you can see how we have it set up here. You can also notice, you may notice our mod is set at 0. The modulation on this reverb is like a phaser.
It was crazy.
Which was not like the kind of thing that I would use or Brad would use. So we turned it off. It may be something you like, but like Brad said earlier, we're not going to go through all the sounds you can get out of this thing. We'd be here forever. But what do we think this one sounds like?
This also kind of reminds us of like a cloud kind of sound. Yeah. Like on the, so we did show that sound again, but we'll show them side by side.
Okay, so first of all, let's just hear it how we have it set up. So go ahead and play something. So one thing, you might notice the BigSky had a little bit more high end.
Which, funny enough, it's not a shimmer, but it actually kind of has a shimmery quality.
Yeah. So I turned one thing we did on this reverb is we set our high cut pretty low, so it rolled off a lot of high end. Because the high end on this one's, it's got like this metallic kind of thing, which you may or may not want. We thought it sounded a little better without it. Okay, so Plateau is shimmer. Now with Plateau, you get decay, pre-delay, tone, modulation, but you get 2 pitch parameters, which you can set either of them from -24 to plus 24.
So lower octave, upper octave,
yeah,
and everything in between.
Yeah, so what we have done is set the first pitch to 0, so there's no low octave at all, and the second pitch to plus 12, which is 1 octave up. So it's like a shimmer sound, 1 octave up. And we set it, we both felt like this sound is best a little more subtle.
Yeah.
It gets a little weird and muddy when it's like really prominent, but...
And also single notes. Like, don't try to play chords.
Yeah, it's better for single note. Okay, so we have a shimmer sound set up on all 3 pedals. You got the Plateau, got Big Sky Shimmer, and the RV-6 we dialed in a shimmer. Kind of made them sound like the same level and, you know, trail and that kind of thing. And Brad's going to play. I'm going to keep turning them on and off so you can hear each one of them. Yeah, okay. So the Big Sky is definitely...
If I had to pick a shimmer...
The Big Sky wins it, but my all-time favorite shimmer, hands down, Eventide.
Yeah, they're something like, about it.
They're the shimmer.
And there was a preset on the H9 and the Space both. You just turn it on, you're like, that's it.
It was amazing sounding. Yeah. Okay, Double Tank is, when I first heard it, I thought that is the Mr. Black Supermoon. Mm-hmm. Is it Mr. Black Supermoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot like it to me. And if you know the Supermoon, one thing it does is it'll trail and it'll kind of move up and move down and warble around.
It's weird.
It does that thing really well.
Yeah.
It sounds also like, well, there's an Empress sound.
Yeah, I had the Empress for a little bit. And the Ghost was like, you know, that's the hot button.
Yeah, the Ghost sound.
The hot button. The hot button sound. So that kind of reminded me of that too.
Yeah, it's got like this haunting kind of feel. Okay, so if you look at how, the settings you have for this one, you've just got your decay and pre-delay. The rate and the mod are the controls that like control what it does going up and down, and it'll get like pretty drastic. Like, and you don't really know if it's going to go up or go down, which is the same thing with the Supermoon. It was kind of strange. It
just does what it wants.
But cool. And random. So you can dial that out. So if you turn rate and mod all the way down, it won't do that. Yeah. It'll just have like that reverb sound without that stuff. You get mix, you get low and high cut and trails. So pretty simple reverb, and it does a pretty cool thing. What do we think it sounded like?
This is just bizarre in and of itself. This is a plate, but this plate, the thing I love about the Big Sky is it'll take common sounds and it can make them sound ginormous. And so this plate has some mod on it. Not identical, but it's just like the first thing I thought of. And just, this is also a preset in the patch. So if you've messed with the Big Sky and you've heard this will give you a good rate to kind of calibrate against.
So it's on C?
Yes.
And there's really nothing in the RV-6 that does this thing. So we're going to go between them, but here's what it sounds like. Okay.
Like so Scooby-Doo.
That gives you an idea of what it can do. It actually sounded a lot like that setting.
Yeah, when you're switching back and forth, I mean, you almost can't even tell you're switching back and forth.
All right, so that is Double Tank, and that's all 5 of the new reverbs. Now, Brad and I did spend about 5 minutes, maybe 7, dialing in a swells, ambient swells patch.
Taking what we made here.
Yeah, well.
Combining them, essentially.
Yeah, so we just pulled in these reverbs and some delay, and I'll show you how easy it is to get to it. Boop. 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 Done. Okay, so we have a space echo, Double tank, Ganymede, Plateau. So it's like the Supermoon, the RV-5, and the Shimmer all together, and it sounds like this. That's that double tank, like just making it go, which is cool. You may or may not want that. Yeah, so it's just real easy to dial them in and get a really big ambient sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so some conclusions. The question that you might be asking yourself is, all right, I have BigSky, I have Empress Reverb, I have, you know, a couple H9s or Space or whatever. Can the HX effects replace that for me? And the answer is...
if you want it to.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Complicated.
If you want it to.
So I'll give you... Brad and I were kind of talking about this. We come from a little bit different angles. Mm-hmm. I'll give you my perspective. I have been a Helix user for 2 years now. Since it came out, I pre-ordered it. And I haven't used pedals really at all in that time. And I came from using the Boss stuff. I had, like I said, an Eventide Space. So I was used to that. When I got it, the reverbs were like they weren't as weird as those, but they suited my needs just fine. Like the legacy Helix reverbs, I got sounds that I wanted out of them, and I was happy. And I didn't really wish that I had anything else. Today, getting the new reverbs, listening, you know, a lot closer to the BigSky and the RV-6, it's like, yeah, these are better. And these new reverbs in the Helix, the HX reverbs, are better than the legacy reverbs. So I'm excited for Line 6 to put these new reverbs in my Helix.
Yes.
Which should come very soon, within a few days as of the filming of this. But the answer is the BigSky, it can sound better.
Yeah.
The question is how much better.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Brad, you're saying like this thing is it's a $500
reverb computer. Like that's what they made it for.
And so
they took a lot of things in consideration to make sure that this could give you whatever you wanted. So that's kind of where I'm landing. Like, you know, first off, I love pedals. Like I'm a Kemper guy, and this Joker, side note, we should show some of their verbs, but that we'd be even longer. The verbs in here, they're about to release more, are huge, amazing. But I like pedals, and so for me, I'd want to stick with this. But I could also totally like I could feel confident in my sound, which I don't think anybody would come up to me after a church service and be like, Pastor, I want to complain your reverbs didn't sound as pristine as they normally do. I'd be willing to put some pretty big odds against that wouldn't happen.
No.
But like, even if I just use this for delay and reverbs, I mean, it'd be worth it. Like, I mean, it's killer.
And you just heard them. I mean, back to back, side by side. In lots of cases, it was hard. I would almost say impossible.
Yeah.
For you to tell the difference.
Yeah.
And
I lost track of which pedal you were on. Like, even though I heard you switch, I didn't hear a clean cut drop. I mean, I was like watching, but it wasn't. So.
And now there are sounds you can get out of a BigSky that you won't be able to get out of here. Mm-hmm. And there are sounds in here that you won't be able to get out of the BigSky, particularly this double tank one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a BigSky or you have an Eventide Space and you love like the reverb sounds you get out of it, you should probably not get rid of it.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, I'd like to consolidate, well, and this thing does so much more.
Yeah.
For one thing.
Oh yeah. Trying to upgrade and you have something like this.
Yeah.
Or like a TC Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah.
If you're trying to upgrade, I would say that this would be a nice upgrade. I think that there's still some sounds in this that sound better than this, but you only got one sound. And if you want to spend extra money to get the mod, I mean, by the time you mod this, like I think a few companies do it where they have like second set of knobs. By the time you spend the money on that, you're not. I mean, you're still like half the price of this because this is like $599.
It's $600.
A modded one of these could be over $200 total.
Well, you can just buy two of them.
Yeah, you could buy
two RV-5s.
Yeah,
and get two sounds.
Yeah, you could do that,
and it's still cheaper and like less real estate. Also, notice how big this thing is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the BigSky's sitting right next to it.
Yeah, the BigSky is not
significantly bigger.
Yeah.
But the thing about the HX effects is you get all their everything.
Everything.
Their compressors sound so good.
Their drives sound good.
Their drives sound really good. We were playing, and we're gonna upload another video called we're gonna title it "How to Replace Your Entire Pedal Board with One of These," and we'll show some drive sounds. So look for that video on YouTube. But like going into the Kemper, the drives sound great.
Great.
Like you could replace your analog overdrives.
You could. I would.
No problem.
I like pedals,
so
so I could.
You get a lot more with the HX effects, but can it replace your Big Sky or your Space or your H9? That's up to you.
Yeah.
Our conclusion is it sounds almost as good as those.
Cherry.
But the other thing is, yesterday when we were dialing this in,
yes, I know.
We were like both of us said it sounds as good as a Big Sky.
Yeah.
It sounds as good. Or I said it sounds as good as an RV-5 or an RV-6. And it wasn't until today when we A/B'd them, like turn one off, turn the other one on, that we said, the Big Sky maybe has the edge.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that context, you would be hard pressed, I think, to like notice a difference.
And even if you didn't have that context within the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you've heard a Big Sky before, I think unless you're super, super picky.
Yeah.
I think I'm picky, but yesterday we were messing with this and I was like, holy moly.
Yeah, you were like, I'm gonna sell my Big Sky.
Yeah, and then today I came back down to earth. I was like, let's not get hasty.
Let's not go crazy.
Let's not go crazy. But if you're somebody looking to upgrade, you should totally consider this.
Yeah.
If you're a Big Sky person, we've had people say that, one reason that you could consider this is because of all the functionality in it too.
Yeah.
Like the MIDI capability that it has. You could throw a couple pedals within loops and stuff. So there's a lot of things that this can do outside of just reverbs. So there's a lot to consider.
Yeah, but overall,
you be the judge.
You got to figure that one out for yourself.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Hopefully this has helped you make that decision. But overall, Line 6, awesome job with the new reverbs. They sound really good. Thanks for hanging out with us today on
Yippers.
the gear version of worshiptutorials.com. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.